welcome to Kendra's Artistic Crochet Designs. And today we are going to finish our silhouette of our witch and our moon diamond. And we are going to start off with, I'm just trying to find my hook, row 26. Alright, so in row 26, we're going to chain 1 and turn from now on. Instead of chaining 2, before we were chaining 2 and turning. In the first 2 stitches, we're going to slip stitch. And in that third stitch, we're going to put our falling leaf stitch in. Alright, and then we're going to switch over to the black. And we started out with one. This is our second corner, because our first corner was this one right down here. This is our second corner now. So we just created a corner. Alright. So we need 3 black next. So there's 1. 2. And 3. And then we're going back to our yellow, and we're going to put 1 yellow in next. And then we're going to go back to the black and put 2 black in. Let me pull some of that black out. A little too tight. So there's 1, and we need to put 1 more black in. And then we're switching back over to the yellow, and we're going to put 3 yellow in. So there's 1. 2. And 3. And then we need 8 black. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7, 8. And then we need our yellow again. And we need to put one yellow in next. And then we'll go back to our black. We need to put finish off this row with 4 black and 1 yellow at the end. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're putting our yellow in. Now, we used to end our row up here, but now that we're decreasing on both ends, we're ending our row down here now. So our yellow goes into this is our last stitch here. And once you get that done, then you need to slip stitch to this stitch right here. And then that row is done. And this corner is formed now. Now we have 3 corners. And also in row 26, you have 24 squares. In row 25, we had 25 squares. We are going to be decreasing by 1 square every row. So the next row, 27, will be 23 squares. Row 28 will be 22. So and so forth. So it'll decrease by 1 now instead of increase by 1. So we are going to chain 1 and turn for row 27. Let's get this. Let's mark off row 26. And we got that done. And again, you're going to do this at the beginning of every row. You will chain 1 and turn and slip stitch in the first 2 stitches. And then in that 3rd stitch, where the single is, you'll start your color, which is the yellow in this case, the first color. And then we're going to go to 3 black next. So there's 1. 2, and 3. And then we go to our yellow and we need to put 2 yellow in. And then go back to the black and we need to put 3 black in. Alright, there's 2. And here's a number 3. I need some more, pull some more black out of there. Alright, We're going to switch back over to the yellow. We got our 3 black in, and we need 1 yellow. And then switching back over to the black. We're going to put 2 black in. And then back to the yellow. We need 2 yellow. And then back to the black. We need 1 black. And 1 yellow. And then 3 black. So there's 1, 2, and 3. 1 yellow. And then back to the black. I'm going to finish off this row by putting 2 black and 1 yellow in. So there's 1, and 2, and then right here's our last one for our yellow. And then slip stitch there. Oh goodness. All right. So this is what row 27 looks like. I'll mark off that row. All right, so row 28. Let's chain 1 and turn. We'll start off with the yellow, and then we need to switch over to the black. And we're going to put 5 black in next. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. And then 1 yellow. And then we'll switch back to the black, and we need to put 6 black in. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then we need 1 yellow, and then we're switching back to the black. We need 3 black, so there's 1, 2, and 3, and then 1 yellow, and then switching back to the black. We're going to finish this off with 3 black and 1 yellow at the end. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Put our yellow here. And row 28 is finished. All right. So we'll mark that off. All right, row 29. We're going to chain 1 and turn. And we're going to start off with the yellow. And switching over to our black, then we need to put 2 black in. All right, and then we need 2 yellow. And then switching over to the black, we need 3 black and then 1 yellow. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then got your yellow here. Now we need 6 black and then 1 yellow. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now I need a yellow in here. Make sure we bring that black with us. And then we need 1 black and 1 yellow next. Wait a minute, I didn't. Yeah, I did. Alright. It didn't look like I finished that stitch off. Alright. Black is so hard to see sometimes. Alright, and then we're going to finish off this row by putting 2 black and 1 yellow here at the end. Alright, and that was row 29. And this is what it should look like. We'll mark that row off. And then we'll start row 30 here. Chain 1 and turn. And we'll start off with our yellow as usual. And then switching over to our black, we need 1 black, and so we need black, yellow, black is what we need here, and the next 3. So there's black, yellow, and black. And now we need 2 yellow. Alright, and then we need 5 black, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we need our yellow, and now we need 2 yellow, 3 black, and then back to the black and put 3 in. And then we're going to finish off this row by putting 1 yellow, 2 black, and 1 yellow. So there's 1 yellow. Two black, and then 1 yellow. Alright, and then there is row 30, and in row 30 you should have 20 squares. So this should make up 20 squares. Mark that off and go to 31. So we're going to chain 1 and turn, and we're going to start out with our yellow. And then we need 2 black. So there's 1. And 2. And then we need, in the next 4, we need yellow, black, yellow, black. So we're going to be switching off between the 2. So yellow, black, yellow, black. Alright, and then we need 2 yellow. And 5 black. So there's 1. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we need 3 yellow, 1 black, and 1 yellow. So let's do 3 yellow. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then 1 black and 1 yellow. All right. So there is our witch 31. Looking pretty cool. And 32 is next. We should be finishing up our witch in this row. So we're going to chain 1 and turn. All right, and then we need to put 1 black in and then 3 yellow. We started out with our yellow first. Oh, come on. What did I do? Okay, so it's 1 yellow, 1 black, 3 yellow. And then 4 black. So there's 1. 2. 3. And 4. Switching back to yellow, we need to put 5 yellow in next. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, and our last 4 stitches are black, yellow, black, yellow. Our last 4 squares, not stitches. So black, oh my goodness. Of course we'd get a knot. Come on. Goodness. All right. All right. Now we've got black, yellow, then go back to black, and yellow at the end here. All right. And that finishes up our witch. All right, so that is row 32. And now it really starts to get easy. Lost my yarn. All right. All right, so now in 33, we're going to chain 1 and turn. So 33, we start out with the yellow. And so it's going to be 1 yellow, 1 black, 13 yellow, 1 black, and the yellow at the end. So, so it's 1 yellow, 1 black, and then we're going to switch it back over to yellow and put 13 in. And then I will be back at the end of the 13 yellow. All right, so you finish off after those 13 yellow, you finish it off with the 1 black and one yellow at the end. So anyway, that's 33, and that's what it looks like. Mark that off. All right, row 34. Chain 1 and turn. And row 34 is 1 yellow, 1 black, and then you're going to put 12 yellow, 1 black, and 1 yellow at the end. So now it's 12 yellow, 1 black, 1 yellow at the end. So I will see you at the end of this row. Okay, so that was row 34. And we'll get ready for 35. All right, so chain 1 and turn. And there's Miss Helena. Hello there, Helena. All right, so we're starting out with the yellow. And then we need the black. And now we need 11 yellow. And then you're going to end with a black and a yellow at the end. So I will be back at the end of this row. Okay, so 35, this is what 35 looks like. And you should have 15 squares in row 35. So let's mark that off. And then go to 36. Alright, so chain 1 and turn. And we'll start out with our yellow, 1 black. And then we'll go back to the yellow, and we need to put 10 yellow. So 10 yellow, 1 black, 1 yellow. 1 black, 1 yellow. To finish off this row. So I will see you at the end of row 36. Alright, so this is what row 36 looks like. We'll mark it off. So row 37, chain 1 and turn. We'll start out with 1 yellow and 1 black. And then we need 9 yellow, 1 black, and 1 yellow. So I will see you at the end of row 37. Alright, so this is row 37 and what it looks like. Mark it off. Alright, 38. Alright, so we will be starting out with 1 yellow and 1 black again. And then you will need 8 yellow, 1 black, and 1 yellow at the end. And I'll finish off that row, and we'll be back after this, after row 38. All right, and that is what row 38 looks like. And let's mark it off. And 39 is next. All right, so let's chain 1 and turn. And we'll start off with 1 yellow, 1 black again. And then we'll go back to the yellow and put 7 yellow in this time. So there's 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. And 7. And then we need 1 black and 1 yellow to finish off this row. Wait a minute. That yellow comes forward. I'm going to get these yarns all mixed up, tangled up. All right, let's put the yellow in. All right, and that is row 40, or no, 39. Row 39, and let's mark it off. And then we'll do row 40. In row 40, you'll be down to 10 squares. So we'll start out with a yellow and 2 black. So there's 1. And 2. Then we'll go back to yellow, put 4 yellow in. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we need to finish this off by putting 2 black and 1 yellow at the end. And this row finishes off the moon. All right, and so there is, yeah, there's that. So that's row 40 done. Let's do 41. Chain 1 and turn. And we'll start off with a yellow at the beginning, and then we're going to switch over to black, and we're going to put 7 black in. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then we'll put a yellow at the end to finish off the row. And this is what row 41 looks like. So 42, you will do the same thing, only you're going to be putting 6 black in the middle of these 2 yellows. And then 43, you'll put 5, and so on and so forth, until you get down to yellow, black, yellow. 1 yellow, 1 black, 1 yellow, which is on row 47. So I'm going to finish off my few rows until we get to row 47, and we will be back for row 48. All right, so we're going to, this is what row 47 looks like. We have 1 yellow, 1 black, and 1 yellow. All right, so we are done with the black, and we can actually cut it off. All right, so 48, we'll be starting out. Well, actually, we're going to put 2 yellows in. So there's 1. And 2. And then 49. Only needs 1 yellow to finish off our last corner. And there we have it. All right, so we are done with that. We'll cut that off too. And there is our witch in the moon. Isn't that so cool? That is so neat. So all you have to do is there's only 4. Oh, that's interesting. There's only 4 ends to weave in, and then at the beginning of the month we did the jack-o'-lantern diamond. Go to that one. and the border is done the exact same way. So go to that to get the border at the end there, and then you'll finish this off. I hope you guys had a lot of fun making this diamond with us. I want to thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, and bye bye now.